Hello and welcome back to another video where we are playing Town to City. We are back in the city of Belval for today because there is a build I would like to try and do that's going to require some of the buildings that are a bit further down in our research menu, and we haven't quite unlocked all of those yet in Fontabrac. And the build I would like to do today is to try and create something that looks a little bit like a university campus. So I have identified a plot of land over here, which I'm showing you now, which I think could fit the campus quite well. This map is relatively big, and I'd say we've built on about 2/3 of it so far. And I think this spot is going to be the perfect blank canvas for this campus. So let's start as ever by perhaps getting a bit of a road layout in. So I'm thinking of kind of like classic university, like quad style campus we're going to build over here, kind of like fronting onto this lake. And actually the first thing I will do is come over to our research menu and actually just unlock the university, because we do have enough research points to get it. To get to the final stage of our research menu, we're going to need 60 bourgeoisie people, so I may go ahead and move a couple more in. And I can see we've got a family here that want a pet goose that I think we had left over from a couple of episodes ago, and we do actually have a goose in stock in our animal shelter today. So let's go ahead and grab that. And then we could move one of these families in and add in our goose towards them as well. So we can grab our goose here and yeah, offer them up to this family. We've got another few families ready to move in, so I guess we can go ahead and keep going. We're going to make it to 60 very quickly at this rate. And yeah, with those couple of additions, it looks like we are able to upgrade to large city. So let's go ahead and do that, and I think this will be our last station upgrade. Yeah, we have achieved the max city stage. That is brilliant. I am noticing as our station has been upgraded that the kind of entrance to the town is looking a little bit lackluster with just these sort of rocks and grass, so that will be a job we can come back to in another episode, I think. But for now, let's head back over here and see if we can start planning out this university campus. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use this plaza road again that we were using up in our Parisian district. There we go, that's looking okay for now. I think we're probably going to want to get rid of this rock and also maybe move a couple of these trees out of the way. Now let's come down to our commerce menu, head to public services, and we can see that we've unlocked the university just here. So yeah, this is a pretty big, grand building, and yeah, I just feel like it's going to make a really cool quad with this sort of bump out at the front. Or this sort of courtyard at the front, I guess is what I mean. So I think let's go ahead and try and build that just about there. There we go, that is fully built out now. It has created a bit of a curb around it, so I might need to just move it briefly to get rid of that. There we go, that has disappeared now. And I would like to try and get this hooked into the road network fairly quickly. So that is now connected, and it looks like it's going to need artisans to come and work here, so let's see if we can do some swapping around within our research centres. Nope, seems like they're already full of townsfolk. Let's see if there's any other buildings we could exchange artisans for townfolk, and yeah, it looks like this chapel is going to be exactly that. So this building can employ either townsfolk or artisans, but right now it has a bunch of artisans, so I'm going to reclaim these guys. And then I'm going to add in townsfolk, which we have a lot spare of, in instead. Then I can come down here and I can employ some of those artisans that we've claimed back just down here. Okay, so weirdly I did actually just experience my first ever game crash in this game, but it looks like it's saved up to where we placed this library, and I'm just going to need to draw in those road connections again, so I'm going to quickly go ahead and redo that and re-employ people, and then I'll be back. Okay, I think we are back to where we were at a moment ago, so let's pick up where we left off. So there are a couple of other service buildings I want to include in this university campus. I've tried to kind of select them based on what I think makes sense for a campus. So one of them is indeed going to be our library, which feels like a kind of obvious choice. And I think that's going to look good just kind of down here. Though I do really like the front of this building, so I've actually just built it facing the lake for now, although we can switch it around if we want to in a moment. Another thing that I think could look pretty cool is this clock tower. That feels like it would make a lot of sense to be situated in a university campus. I think that could maybe come over here next to the main building. And yeah, as good as that library does look from the front, I think I am going to place it to the side again. And maybe also shuffle these buildings over at the same time. And we're fully stocked up on research points again, so perhaps that is a good excuse to come and buy something new. I think we could go for this mayor's statue. I'm not sure if it's going to fit into our current build, but we may as well purchase it and take a little look. That is one of our monument buildings. And actually, now I'm looking at it, I feel like that does fit in pretty well with this campus. I think this could be a pretty good central statue for this quad. So let's place that down just like that. We could even perhaps just bring it a little closer towards the water like this. And then I'm thinking about the other needs that the students are gonna have in this area. They are gonna need to be able to eat some food, so I thought a little bistro could look quite good. I'm not entirely sure how I want to place this one, so I'm just gonna put it over here for now and we'll move it around as we continue with the build. And then I would like to start to build a little bit of what is going to be our student housing. And I think I would like to kind of build these out as individual townhouses that kind of each have a little bit of a garden. So I'm going to build a few along here. And I think I'm going to need to move this road a bit as a result as well. Okay, there we go. And then I think we could go ahead and decorate up their gardens a little bit. So I just built a tiny little kind of like public garden on the corner here just to fill in that gap. And then I would like to make these gardens look relatively formal. I guess a bit like they were like sorority or fraternity houses or something, or maybe even just like professors' residences. So let's move some people in, seeing as they are ready. And then see what we can do to try and make these gardens look quite special. Okay, so I've added quite a few decorations to these houses now. I think they are looking pretty good in terms of kind of, I guess, posh student housing. These would be pretty nice places to live as a student. And so I think we can head back to our main student square, where we can see that the key need that these people are missing is for clothing. Now we've got quite a few options for this, but I'm actually quite keen to use this barber. It's quite a cute small building, it won't need too many workers, and I think we could put it together with the bistro to make a pretty nice little square just down here. So let's go ahead and build it and think about rearranging these buildings to fit in. In the meantime, we've got a lot of research points again, so I'm going to go ahead and get improved lectures, which I think will make our university provide for a few more people. And then let's go ahead and see if we can neaten up all of these roads and paths to really finish off this area. Okay, so I got a bit distracted from the road layout there and started working on this kind of plaza layout instead. This lakefront, as you can see, is not really going to be built out as a beach. It's more of just a kind of like lookout over onto the lake. I think we could definitely add quite a few ducks in this area. And also some little reeds as well. And then we can also have a few lily pads scattered about. And I think a few floating lanterns would look very nice as well. There we go, I think that lakefront is looking a little bit more active now. There we go, I think this little shopping area is looking quite nice with these gazebos. Let's go ahead and put some maybe slightly more formal decorations around this quad area. Okay, so I just finished doing these flower beds around the statue. They always end up taking me a pretty long time. There are still a few more decorations I would like to add, so let's go ahead and get a few more of those in. Okay, and then I think there's a final little corner in here which could maybe use with a tiny little bit of decoration as well. I'm thinking perhaps a fountain or something like that. We've even got room for a kind of big fountain back here, so I think we could go for this and then just have a couple of lampposts around it. A little bit of seating. And then I think changing the road type just in this little square also helps to distinguish it slightly. Just like that. And then I did not quite manage to decorate up this little garden, and I think we could use one of the new items we got in the Christmas pack, perhaps this brazier in here, and put a few seats around it as well. And then just perhaps a few little plants to finish it off. There we go, and I think that is our university campus looking pretty good, to be honest. And all of these buildings have left us with a nice excuse to go ahead and build out a bunch more housing in this area as well. Just before we go, I'll grab one more upgrade, seeing as we have the research points for it. I might as well go ahead and get this famous actors upgrade, which is going to improve the effectiveness of our theatre, I believe. That means we can claw back a few of these artisans, which is nice. I would like to also make sure that this area is connected up around this side as well, so just before we go I will build out a road over here as well. I'm sure we will come back and change that road later on as we wish to maybe make it a bit neater. But for now, with the sun setting over our university, I think that is where I'm going to leave this episode for today. Thank you so much again for watching. I once again had a really fun time with this build. We are nearing the end of new buildings on our research menu that we'll be able to build with, so I am curious to hear what other builds you might want to see in Town to City. Yeah, like I said, we've done a lot of these big ones, but perhaps there's smaller builds or some kind of interesting theme or inspiration you think that could be quite good for me to do. So I'll be on the lookout for anything you want to suggest in the comments. But for now, I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video.